Good morning, everyone. Let me ask you a simple question. Have you ever wanted to answer a question in class but stayed silent because you were afraid of being wrong? Maybe you were worried your friends would laugh. Maybe you thought your answer was not good enough. Or maybe you were just scared of making a mistake. I have experienced this many times. But today, I want to convince you of something important, which is we should not fear of making mistakes, because mistakes are actually one of the most powerful ways to learn and succeed. Firstly, making mistake is completely normal. Think about when we were children learning how to ride a bicycle. We fell down again and again, sometimes we even got hurt, but we did not stop. We kept trying until we succeeded. Another example is learning how to speak. When we were young, we did not speak perfectly. We mispronounced words, used wrong grammar, and sometimes said things incorrectly. But through mistakes, correction, and practice, we improve. So, mistakes are not something to be ashamed of. They are a natural and necessary part of learning. Secondly, fear of making mistakes can limit our growth. Let me give you a real classroom situation. Imagine a student who knows the answer but is too afraid to speak. They stay silent. Another student is unsure but still raises their hand and tries. Even if the answer is wrong, the teacher corrects them and they learn something new. So, who will improve more? The one who is brave enough to try. This is especially true in language learning. Many students are afraid to speak English because they're worried about making grammar mistakes, so they avoid speaking. But without practice, improvement is impossible. Fear keeps us in our comfort zone, but growth only happens when we step out of it. Thirdly, making mistakes can actually lead to success. Let's look at some real-life examples. Thomas Edison failed more than 1,000 times before successfully inventing the light bulb. Instead of giving up, he said he had finally found 1,000 ways that did not work. Another example is J.K. Rowling. Her Harry Potter manuscript was rejected by many publishers before it became one of the most successful book series in the world. We can also look at Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time. He once said, "I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I have failed over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." Even Albert Einstein, one of the smartest people in history, made many mistakes in his work, but those mistakes helped him develop new ideas. These examples show us how important success is not about avoiding mistakes, but it is about learning from them. Now, let's bring this closer to our own lives as a student. Have you ever failed a test? At that moment, it feels disappointing. But later, when you review your mistakes, you understand the topic better. Or think about the presentation. The first time you present, you may feel nervous. You may forget your words or make mistakes. But after that experience, your second presentation become better, and your third presentation become even more confident. Mistakes help us improve step by step. Even in group work, miscommunication can happen, but through those mistakes, we learn how to cooperate better. So, in reality, mistakes are helping us grow every single day, even if we do not realize it. Finally, the environment around us is very important. Imagine in two classrooms. In one classroom, when a student makes a mistake, others laugh. In another classroom, when a student makes a mistake, others encourage them. Which classroom will you feel more comfortable in? Of course, the supportive one. As students and future educators like us, we must create a positive environment where mistakes are accepted. Because when students feel safe, they become more confident, and when they are confident, they are more willing to try. And when they try, they learn. In conclusion, mistakes are not something to fear. They are a natural part of learning, a stepping stone to success, a powerful tool for improvement. So, next time if you feel afraid to speak or afraid to try, Remember Thomas Edison and his 1000 failures. Remember that every successful person you admire has made mistakes. And most importantly, remember that staying silent will never help you grow. So, be brave, take the risk, make the mistakes. Because in the end, mistakes do not define you, they improve you. Thank you.